And new this hour for you, the Justice Department has just announced it's dismissing lawsuits against police departments in Louisville, Kentucky and Minneapolis, Minnesota. These Biden-era suits accuse the departments of unconstitutional policing practices related to the deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. CBS News Department of Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now from our D.C. bureau with more on this. Scott, this was just announced minutes ago. Tell us about why these lawsuits are being dismissed.
Yeah, this was no surprise. The Trump administration was walking back from these recently agreed upon settlement deals with Minneapolis and with Louisville and these federal legal challenges against Minneapolis and Louisville. Both departments are accused of improper practices. Louisville was accused of excessive force, including excessive use of neck restraints, police dogs, and tasers. Minneapolis has been under scrutiny from the feds ever since the murder of George Floyd in 2020 by a then Minneapolis police officer. The Department of Justice and its Civil Rights Division in the Trump administration is trying to disentangle itself with oversight of local police departments. They call it micromanaging. They call it an overreach, so they are trying to take those types of missions away, which means in this case, they have actually filed the motion in Minneapolis a few minutes ago to dismiss their federal civil suit against the Minneapolis Police Department and the city of Minneapolis. But to be clear, Errol, they've been hitting the snooze button on some of these legal challenges and these lawsuits ever since the president took the oath on January 20th.
There's another big headline I want to ask you about, Scott. Some new changes in the DOJ shifting which police agencies actually get federal grants. Fill us in on that.
This is exclusive reporting from CBS News that in these critically important grant programs in which the Justice Department gives money to local police departments for programs, they are changing the language in the applications and changing the priorities. No longer encouraging police departments to apply for programs that would help pay for community violence intervention, for hate crimes initiatives, domestic extremism initiatives, and workforce police department diversity programs. Instead, they are redirecting the priorities to border security, immigration issues, opioid issues. These are significant changes in priorities and language, according to a former Justice Department official speaking with CBS News, but in line with President Trump's public priorities for police. He wants to get them out of the business of doing diversity initiatives, wants them to prioritize the border, among other things, and above other things, which means community violence intervention, which is a critical part of so many major city police initiatives in which they use federal funding, maybe now less able to get money from Washington.
Yeah, it's also completely in line with what Donald Trump campaigned on and promised to voters. Another detail I want to ask you about, the Justice Department reportedly investigating former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo now. What specifically are they looking at?
And mayoral candidate Andrew Cuomo. CBS News, according to multiple sources, has learned that this investigation is happening inside the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Washington, D.C. There have been congressional Republicans here in Washington, D.C. who have asked for a prosecution, pressed the Department of Justice for a prosecution, alleging Andrew Cuomo was untruthful when he testified in front of Congress a year ago about the COVID-19 pandemic. His response to it, the handling of the nursing home deaths issue in New York. The Department of Justice isn't commenting on this, but we know this has been a priority of Republicans in Congress to get an investigation up and running, but there have been no case filings, and Mr. Cuomo's spokesperson says they've heard nothing about this. They haven't gotten any calls or subpoenas, and they call this warfare and a politically charged investigation.
Yeah, Cuomo's team saying this amounts to election interference as he tries to become the next mayor of the nation's largest city. Scott MacFarlane, live in our D.C. bureau with all the latest. Thank you, Scott.